Welcome to The Art Box, your podcast dedicated to exploring the vibrant art scene in Nevada and beyond. Join us as we embark on a journey through galleries, theaters, studios, public lands, and streetscapes, meeting the artists, curators, archaeologists, nature lovers, and cultural influencers who shape our creative community and our world. Whether you're looking for your next cultural adventure, seeking inspiration for your own artistic pursuits, or simply curious about the world of art, tune into The Art Box. Together, let's open up a world of creativity and imagination. Let's dive in.
Dreams, what if the night is about you and me? So lift your head up to the sky.
Hey everyone, this is Steve from the Art Box Podcast. This week I'm thrilled to be the artist in residence at and around Aviquame National Monument, focusing on a project I've titled Mojave Shadows. My work will explore the fascinating interplay of shadows during the day and moonlit shadows at night, and how the Mojave's inhabitants, both big and small, use them to escape the harsh sun or evade predators. I've always been captivated by shadows, whether it's the dramatic sweep of cloud shadows racing across hillsides, the lengthening shadows of evening, or the gentle light of a full moon casting its glow across the landscape. Joining me this week is Torin, a familiar face to those who follow me on Facebook. I first met Torin at Juniper Outpost during one of my regular visits to take in their magnificent scents. I noticed a pair of big yellow eyes peering around some art, sad yet hopeful. When I asked Dave about him, he explained that Torin was crafted by Diane Alexanian from the VVAA Pottery Studio and was available for $15. I couldn't resist, and since then, Torin has become a constant companion on my desk, always ready to lend a hand with podcast editing. If you've seen my post on Facebook, you know that Torin has been busy around town, whether it's grabbing lunch at Table of Contents, recording podcasts at the Steam Center, or reading books at the library. He even joined Gwen and I on an epic 8,000-mile road trip to Alaska. The last few days, Torin has been mugging me to have him on the podcast. Let's give it a try. So Torin, tell us a little bit about you.
Hi, Steve. As you mentioned, our good friend Diane Alexanian crafted me with her skilled hands. I'm told she used a very special clay, rumored to have fallen to Earth millions of years ago in the Sahara Desert. Diane's talent is evident in my prominent eyes and beak, though I have to admit, she did put me through the ringer by tossing me in the kiln. Let me tell you, it was scorching in there. As an orphan of sorts, Diane passed me on to Dave and Charlotte at Juniper Outpost, hoping I'd find a good home. Dave immediately put me to work organizing shelves, and Charlotte quickly discovered my knack for barcodes, so I became a bit of a whiz at inventory control. Then one day, you walked in, and just like that, I found myself off to a new adventure as a podcast assistant.
Torin, where did you get the Aussie accent?
You know, I asked Diane about that and she said it was Tammy who gifted me that. Why do you ask? Is there a problem with it?
Nope, just wondering. Let me ask you how you liked driving with Gwen and I to Alaska.
You had to ask that, didn't you? I could have gone without being shoved in the glove box. It was stuffy, dark, and you guys did not even let me come into the hotel room at night. Every now and then you took me out for a selfie. Could you tell I was a bit peeved at you too?
Yikes, sorry about that, Torin. But how about the trip on the boat to Kenai Fjords National Park? Did you enjoy that at least?
Oh yes, I liked the way Captain Nicole Lawrence found her way around the cold waters and let us see so much wildlife. My favorite was the 2 orca whales that dove under the boat. I will say, however, that I was somewhat worried that you were going to drop me in the water. But all in all, a great experience. I liked Seaward, Alaska. Tell me why we had to come back to Mesquite?
Well, Torin, it's because we live here. We could mail you back up there to JT and Anna.
That is okay. I will stay here. So, tonight is our third night here. What do we have scheduled?
The moon will not rise tonight until 9:15, so we will work on a Milky Way picture before it rises and washes out the stars. Then, yes, then, and so exciting, a Falcon 9 is scheduled to lift off from Vandenberg Space Base at 1 a.m. Can you set your alarm and wake me up so maybe we can catch it?
How about Friday night, Steve? What's going on?
Friday, Kim has invited an astronomy group out, and we will be hosting them. I'm hoping you will take care of parking.
Steve, I am only 3 inches tall. Aren't you worried I might get run over?
Okay, you have a point, but Diane gave you those large yellow eyes. If you can't do it, okay, I can always place you in the laptop bag for the night.
Seriously, dude. Okay, I will be the valet for the night. You drive a hard bargain.
Torin, let's talk about art. I noticed you've been using some of my extra canvas in the garage and some of my oils. Your work is quite stylized, bright and happy. Now, I know you were just created less than a year ago. You obviously did not gain these skills as a youth. Can you tell us where you learned your creativity and art skills?
Steve, you caught me. I couldn't resist dipping into that stash of extra canvas and oils. When it comes to my art, well, let's just say it's a bit of a mystery even to me. You see, while I may have been brought to life less than a year ago, I like to think that creativity is something that doesn't depend on age. I guess you could say that the moment Diane shaped me, she infused me with a spark of artistic curiosity. Maybe it's the ancient clay that runs through me, carrying with it the echoes of countless artists and creators from millennia past. Or perhaps it's the energy I've absorbed from being surrounded by all the incredible art when I was at Juniper Outpost. Whatever the source, I've found myself drawn to bright colors and happy themes, maybe because I believe the world could always use a bit more joy. So, while I didn't have the chance to learn these skills in a traditional sense, I've been picking them up by observing and absorbing the creative vibes around me. And hey, who knows? Maybe one day I'll be as good as some of the artists you've featured on the podcast. But for now, I'm just having fun experimenting and expressing myself on the canvas.
Interesting, Torin. Linda and I will need to talk to Diane about her magical skills transferring creative magic to your clay soul. Quite impressive. Given your obvious skills, do you have any tips or tricks to an artist new to oils? Maybe talk about wet on wet, preparing the canvas, and where you get your inspiration from.
Steve, you've hit on something truly special. If Diane did indeed transfer some creative magic to my clay soul, I'm eternally grateful for it. And of course, I'd be happy to share some tips and tricks for artists just starting out with oils. First off, let's talk about wet-on-wet painting, one of my favorite techniques. It's all about working quickly while the paint is still fresh and pliable on the canvas. This allows you to blend colors smoothly and create soft transitions, which can add a dreamy, atmospheric quality to your work. To get started, make sure your canvas is prepped with a thin layer of liquid white or clear medium. This helps the paint glide on effortlessly and gives you that smooth, buttery texture oils are known for. As for preparing the canvas, I've found that a good, solid foundation is key. Start with a well-primed canvas to ensure the paint adheres properly and lasts over time. I like to add an extra layer of gesso before I start, and sometimes, I even tint it slightly to give the painting a warm undertone. When it comes to inspiration, I take a lot from the world around me, especially the bright, happy things that bring a smile to my face. Whether it's the way the morning light dances on the leaves or the way shadows stretch and play across the desert landscape, I find beauty in the small, everyday moments. I also draw inspiration from the stories and emotions of the people I encounter. Each one leaves a mark on me and, in turn, influences my work. So, my advice? Embrace the process, experiment freely, and let the colors guide you. And most importantly, have fun. Art is about expressing yourself and finding joy in the act of creation. Who knows, maybe with a little practice, you'll find some magic in your own brushstrokes too.
Wow, Torin, you are so deep.
Thank you. While we are talking, could you order some Dick Blick oils? Yellow ochre, chrome yellow, cadmium yellow, chrome orange, vermilion, Prussian blue, ultramarine, lead white, zinc white, emerald green, red lake, red ochre, and raw sienna.
Dude, you have some high standards with Dick Blick paint. Those are expensive. Plus, I noticed you're requesting Van Gogh's favorite colors. What gives?
Well, Steve, you don't want to limit my creative bounds, do you? I mean, I am an up-and-coming creative genius.
Torin, we shall see. Time to wrap up. Want to tell us what has inspired you this week?
Well, Steve, this week has been full of inspiration. What's really sparked my creativity lately is the way the light changes throughout the day here in the Mojave. Watching the shadows dance and stretch across the landscape has given me so many ideas. There's something magical about how they transform even the most ordinary scenes into something extraordinary. I've also been inspired by the stories you've shared during our time together, especially the ones about the artists you've met and the places you've traveled. Hearing about their journeys and creative processes makes me want to explore new techniques and push my own boundaries. But if I had to pick one thing that's really stood out, it would be the connection I've felt to the land and the creatures that call it home. There's a quiet, powerful energy here that feeds my soul and fuels my imagination. It's made me appreciate the beauty in stillness and the art of observation. Sometimes the best inspiration comes from simply being present and letting the world reveal its secrets. So, as we wrap up, I just want to say thank you for giving me this opportunity to express myself and explore new creative avenues. I'm excited to see where our adventures take us next.
Thank you, Torin. Let's say thank you to Kim Garrison Means for this opportunity as artist in residence this week and for her work in the designation of Aviqua May National Monument. Also thanks to our friends Dave and Charlotte, owners and curators of Juniper Outpost, located at 312 Mesquite Boulevard, number 114. Let's turn it over to Addie to talk about Juniper Outpost.
Addie here. Good job, Torin. Juniper Outpost in Mesquite, Nevada, is a true gem for art lovers and those who appreciate the finer things in life. As soon as you step inside, you're greeted by a sensory experience that's hard to forget. The store is filled with the delightful aromas of their carefully curated selection of virgin oils, which infuse the air with a warm, inviting scent that perfectly complements the artistic atmosphere. But it's the art that truly takes center stage at Juniper Outpost. The store proudly showcases the works of over 40 talented artists, each bringing their unique vision and creativity to life. From stunning pottery and intricate jewelry to vibrant paintings and handcrafted sculptures, every corner of the store is filled with one-of-a-kind creations that reflect the diverse talents of these artists. The beauty of Juniper Outpost lies in its ability to blend the tactile and the aromatic, creating a space where art and ambience coexist harmoniously. Whether you're browsing for a special piece to take home or simply soaking in the creative energy, Juniper Outpost offers an experience that lingers with you long after you've left. It's a place where the artistry of the creators and the natural beauty of the oils combine to create something truly magical.
Thanks, Addie. Many thanks to Diane Alexanian for her creation of Torin and her dedication to the opening of the new VVAA Pottery Studio at 15 West Mesquite Boulevard. You can find out more at the MesquiteFineArtsCenter.com or our Facebook page, VVAA Pottery Studio. This is Steve, signing off from somewhere in the Mojave Desert.
Broadcasting from the Mesquite Works Steam Center in the scenic Mojave Desert, the Artbox sponsors thank you for listening. You can find us on Spotify, Samsung, iHeartRadio, Podchaser, and Amazon Music. Please subscribe so you don't miss an episode. We are on Facebook and Instagram as The Artbox. We welcome all comments. You can email us at artboxvv@gmail.com. The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are those of its hosts and guests and do not necessarily reflect those of our sponsors.